the hell did I get myself into?
Oh,
This is
got it,
so
got it.
hot.
There we
With
go.
Don
There you go.
and my special guests, one Danny Adam, one Guy Sadlowski. That is Guy Sadlowski under that thing going on. Hey, guys, thank you so much for coming in, spending some time with Stirring the Pot. We've been having a lot of fun. And hey, again, thank you so much. Come on.
Absolutely, Don K. We both want to thank you, not just for having us on Stirring the Pot, but for everything you do on for wrestling. I mean, you're the guy who's in the crowd recording matches. You send them to people. You're cutting gifts for people. I mean, nobody does that. So thank you, Don, for everything you do and for helping guys out in times like this who just need that outlet now that we're not out able to do what we do.
Wow, man. The reciprocated love. That's what wrestling is, man. I'm telling you. Wrestling is
Absolutely.
its own environment, its own because you either love it or you hate it. You don't kind of like wrestling. That's the thing about wrestling fans. Do you guys find that to be the same way?
Oh, absolutely. You either, I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, you don't usually go to a wrestling show if you don't like it. Um, so you either get those people who, they love it and they're just there to enjoy the show, or you're going to get those ones who are super critical, the marks, as you would say, who are really critical and just want to nitpick everything. And
Or then you get people like my wife Mary Jane, who had never watched wrestling before I became a wrestler, who is now an avid fan of truly independent wrestling, and she brings the kids to every show.
yeah, so thankfully you don't deal too much, but you get the guys who sometimes take it a little too seriously. Doesn't happen too often, though.
It's still real to me, man.
That's right. That's right.
So what we do here, it's an open forum. We can cuss. I don't mind that. I kind of like it. If you don't, that's fine too. But this is an open forum. But before we do start, though, Guy Sadlowski, what you got going on over there? That better be legal. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we're in Massachusetts.
Yeah, we're in Massachusetts, baby. It's legal here.
You're in Massachusetts and I'm in Connecticut, you sons of bitches. I want it to be legal here too. I like the devil's lettuce. There's nothing wrong with the devil's lettuce.
Jazz
We're gonna have to do one of these in person then, Don. When this is all over with, you got to come up and hang out. And
he comes down to Kevin Landry's. He can hang out at Pro Wrestling Combine. That's in Massachusetts.
Oh boy,
Wow.
stirring the
That
pot.
was an invite right here from one Guy Sadlowski, Mr. Danny Adam, to come up into the legal lands, if you will.
and legitimately stir the pot.
Yeah. Oh man, now that sounds fun. I could probably take you up on that offer. But anywho, what we like to do, we peel it back a little bit because wrestling is it's glitz, it's glamour, it's characters, it's this, it's that, it's over the top, it's larger than life. But what I like to do is kind of pull it back a little bit. We'd like to see if Danny Adam and who Danny Adam is and who Guy Sadlowski is, if that's even your real names. It could be, it could not be. We don't know that. You could not give us that. That's okay too.
The world may never know.
The world may never know. It's 3 licks though, right? That's 3 licks, right?
I don't even know if I know
Something
what
like that.
Guy Sadlowski's real name is. Like, who
Yeah,
names
so-
a kid Guy?
Now, I'm going to start with Mr. Sadlowski, and because I like to talk character and how a character is built in wrestling. But I got to be transparent here, sir. Your name is Guy, and you're just a guy. What's going on with this whole Guy Sadlowski character? Is it an extension of yourself? Is it somebody you've made up upstairs, or what's going on?
Well, I'm not just any guy. I'm the guy, man. I'm
My fault.
I'm like the dude, but I can't just be the dude. You know, that's stupid. Not just a dude. So I'm the guy. I'm just Guy. I don't want to really do much. I love wrestling, so I try my best out there. Usually get my ass kicked, but don't tell anybody, Don. And anyway, I just have fun wrestling, so I go out there, I have a blast, and the only problem with wrestling is I can't be smoking while I'm wrestling, because then I can't really do anything right.
That's true.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that at the in the work environment because we have fun, a lot of fun. You guys put on a good show. we love to what you guys are doing, and Mr. Danny Adam. Yeah, now I've seen the mask from one guy Sadlowski at the top. That I did not expect that. But anywho, you've got a mask. You are this toxic terror. Now,
Yes, sir.
obviously, it's a little bit more character driven than the guy. I don't want to say a guy or just the guy. You are the guy. But Danny Adam, the toxic terror, that takes on a different role of making a character. Could you take the fans and me on a little ride on how that kind of whole thing came about with Danny Adam?
Well, when I was first getting into the business, it was a tough time coming up with a character. And being everybody wants to be themselves. Everybody wants to get in the business and just be, I'm me, I'm who I am, and that's what everyone wants to do. And that wasn't what I wanted to do, and it was tough for me to find what clicked. And then one of my trainers, Lance Madewell, came to me and said, why don't you just go with something that you're really passionate about? You like video games. What about video games? That was it. I love survival post-apocalyptic video games, and it just clicked for me. And that's just, I'm a survivalist. So, and this is especially handy now with COVID-19.
We like to call it Kin COVID around here. We try to lighten it up a little bit.
Kin COVID, my bad. Kin COVID. Kin Corona.
Kin COVID. Oh God, I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes, but I do because that one tickles me every time. I don't know why.
That's a good one.
But I know it's serious out there, and I try to lighten it up a little bit. But what are you guys doing to bide some time during the quarantine thing? I see you guys are ready with the gas masks and all of that good stuff. Besides being ready with the masks, what are you doing to bide your time during the quarantine?
Well, here, I'll let Guy go first.
I'm working on a project right now that I'm actually, this coming week, going to put a preview on the Guy Sadlowski page for. So I can't go into too much detail, but it's basically going to be videos of Guy talking about wrestling while partaking in his favorite thing. So Don Kincaid, Kincaid Files listeners, you just got an exclusive, never before heard. Danny's probably the only person that really knows about this yet. How crazy is that? You got me on stone, Don Kincaid, and telling his secrets.
It's before 20 all the time for the guy.
The whole month? It's
right,
April of the year 20. It's 420 all month. We can't stop, Don.
Man, this is going to... And now I know we've taken a topsy-turvy turn here because of the whole thing going on, but now that you've come to a halt, your 420 reign. Now I've got to talk about a win-loss record because you say you lose a lot. Do you keep your win-loss record under your belt, or are you just like, you know what? Nah, I don't keep track of that stuff.
It's in my head. I know how much I lose. I don't like to lose. Nobody likes to lose. Do you like to lose, Don Kincaid?
No. But are you more than 2 wins in your career right now?
I got a good amount of wins. Okay, I actually have some big wins too. I beat Kenny of the Spirit Squad. That was huge. I beaten this guy once or twice.
Don't let him fool you. I've beaten him too. So
Actually,
friends fight. It's the best way to get it out. Is we got to get in the ring and hash it out.
Hash it out in a last man standing match.
In an Iron Man match.
Some peach power bombed me through a bunch of chairs. And that's how much I love him that I'll still sit with him here.
He's okay.
You're not a very big guy. Average guy, the guy. I got that, the guy. But you're not very built. How do you take punishment like that and come back and be like, you know what? I love wrestling so much. I'm putting my body through some pretty hard shit, but I'm persevering. How do you get through it?
Don, I'm stupid, Don. I'm an idiot. Okay, that's pretty much the basic concept. I don't know when to quit. And one day when I'm probably old and in a wheelchair, I'll be like, all right, it's about time to have one more match. But yeah, I just don't know when to quit.
Hey, and I didn't say you said it. That was hilarious. Don,
Thanks, brother.
I mean, holy cow. I think I got a broken rib right here. That was hilarious, dude. Holy cow. Mr. Danny Adam, you're the toxic terror.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, you dig that whole apocalyptic thing or whatever you got going on. You should have been ready for this. Tell us about this. I would have liked to have known. You know, he could have said, "Hey,
listen,
Don,
I was prepared. If people didn't want to listen to me when I was, holed up and getting everything,
You got me to get one.
I got him ready. If people don't want to listen to me, I can't help them. But guess who hasn't gotten sick? Guess who's been staying away from people? I sanitized him before he walked in. I sprayed him down with sanitizer, made sure he was okay.
well, see, I was going to start. I'm not very PC, and I was almost going to start this whole thing with you guys social distancing. That's a little too tight, no?"
Now we're tag team partners, bro. No need to social.
Yeah,
distance
seriously.
there.
I mean, come on. It just doesn't work that way.
Crazy.
Hey, what you got, I got. What you don't got, I don't got. Hey, I got that. I got that. I got that. So you guys are a tag team, right? And your name is War and Peace. Bring us through. You guys kind of shreds together. Bring us through the fans, because we like to know how made or characters are made. Bring us on a little journey of how Guy and Adam get together and come up with War and Peace.
All right, so this is going to be story time. This probably goes back to the days of the Prospects, which was when me and Guy, and we're about to name drop a bunch of people here. When me and Guy and Ryan Duke, Corbin Dane, the Dillon Street Boys. Oh, 1 second. Yes, sir.
Now, you're mentioning the Prospects. You have to fill in the fan. You can't just be throwing shit out all willy-nilly. Give us the explanation of
That's
the
what I'm
Prospects.
doing. That's what I'm doing, Don. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
So
My fault.
the Prospects were myself, Guy Sadlowski. You know the Dillon Street Boys, Corey Bush and Sean Miller. Ryan Duke, Corbin Dane, and our friend Samuel Bolt. Now, what happened was we all trained together. Truly Independent Wrestling Facility, unfortunately closed now due to, places closing around here. We were trained by Scott Fellows and
Lance
Madewell. And, well, as we were coming up, we just didn't want to be the bottom of the ladder anymore, so we started taking over. We attacked people during matches, and we cost people matches, and we all tossed people out during Rumble matches, and we just weren't having it. And shortly after, we unfortunately took a bit of a loss to some of Truly Independent Wrestling's, head guys.
Yeah.
We had a small feud, so me and Guy ended up taking on Ryan Duke and Corbin Dane at Brawl at Bentley Brook, which was our first outdoor show. And when we worked together, it just kind of came together, War and Peace, and we clicked so well together, and we knew we had to go from there. We couldn't just leave it like that, And ever since then, War and Peace has just been wanting to get out there and do what we can. We're trying to get out to as many places as we can as a tag team.
About coming out, attacking people, costing people's matches. That doesn't even sound anything like you. What the hell is all that?
It wasn't, Don. It was a weird time because I had all my friends, including this guy here, telling me, dude, it's so much easier to cheat and win matches. And it sure was. I won my first match, Don, by cheating to beat this dude, the Husky Ninja. I cheated to beat him, and I felt like crap. Well, I was super excited. I'm not going to lie. I was stoked that I won that freaking match. But it was bad. Bad. Cheating is bad.
I won't always agree that it was the best time. It wasn't our best moments, but it got us, it made an impact, and it's how we got involved and how we got ourselves in a foothold in Truly Independent Wrestling, which is where we all started with TIW. So that's, as much as you want to follow the rules, sometimes you got to bend them a little bit if you want to make an impact and be noticed.
Now, you've spoken aspects of TIW, and you've spoke of a little bit of TIW. Those that you don't know, they're in Massachusetts, and TIW is Truly Independent Wrestling, and they were positioned in a mall for a bit, and things have changed. So where it is now, we'll talk about that later. But I've been on a couple shows when it went to the mall from the original spot. It was at a church or something, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't get to go to those shows. Those were too far. But when you guys moved to the mall, I was down with that. So I got to check out a couple. And are the new students that were upcoming, and they kind of formed, I want to almost say like a faction, and they called them all prospects. Is that correct on saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, truly independent wrestling, you were the first class of the prospects. Have there been any more prospect classes after you guys? Because I haven't been able to follow as closely as I'd like.
So the first graduates of the TIW Academy were me, Danny, and Corbin Dane. And then after that, Ryan Duke, Samuel Bolt, and his sister Lucy Bolt, his manager, all graduated. Then the Dillon Street Boys, they got a newest member. I don't know if you met Brattlebrook Brett.
You saw him. He did the tag team match.
Yes,
Shut up and
yes,
wrestle.
yes.
Him and Zane.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's the third Dillon Street boy. Then we had Sweet Money. Sweet Money Montgomery is this kid who has an ego, but he is freaking good, man. You got to check some of his stuff out. The kid came into the training facility doing backflips like it's nothing.
I'd land on my head, so I'm not even gonna bother.
Dude's got arms twice the size of mine, and he can do backflips. Like, come on, it's not even fair for somebody like me. But I don't want to leave anybody out.
Zayden Lynn,
and Vakula.
Vakula is the most recent one. So there has been a lot, but no one else has taken the moniker the Prospects, though. We're still the only ones.
Yes. Us original 7 were the Prospects.
Yes.
That's got to be cool to be the first of something in any company, no matter if, especially starting to train, being some of the first upcoming students in a company, or being a first champion, or just being a first anything. Now, all you guys, now behind the scenes, because I'm curious, and maybe the fans are, when you're doing the whole training thing, you're all younger guys. You're getting all that wrestling knowledge. You're trying to soak it all in and trying to be safe and all of that. Does that little circle of the new students right there, does that become something cool in the background where it's the brother and sister thing, or you and Guy? And
absolutely. Don, you've seen me. I'm all over the place. PAPW, Test of Strength, Immortal. I'm all over the place, and I try very hard. And you've seen I bring these guys with me everywhere I can go. I do not want to leave anybody behind. And I try to get these guys out with me as much as possible, because we all came up together and we all want the same opportunities. And I want to see these guys succeed just as much as I want to.
This sumbitch pushes me harder than anybody else, because he's the one that sends out the group text. Hey, yo, I'm headed to PAPW. Got 2 seats. Who wants to go? Always has open seats. Always. He is the man. The man.
Now, that sounds like that's some advice that's usually given from one Bob Evans. And I'm not saying he's the only one that ever suggests it, but Bob Evans has a great mind, and a lot of advice that a lot of the men and women in the industry right now utilize. And I've talked to a couple. We've talked Bob Evans. And I know Bob Evans has come in and out of TIW not once, but maybe a couple times now, and he does the seminars. Mm-hmm. What you're talking about right there, that sounds Bob Evans' advice. First off, is it? And when Bob Evans comes in, do you guys take up these seminar opportunities?
Absolutely. He came by the first time in, probably March of 2018 or 2019-ish? 2019, I think. Or 2018.
I don't know. I remember the first time he was there. I was still super green.
We were all very excited. We all took his seminar. And that was, and hearing him say the term, do the drives, is where I got it from, and where I said, you know what, I will drive 3 hours out to Johnson City, New York. I went to Excite Wrestling to see Bob Evans and take place in another one of his seminars, and I got on the show and I got to work for Excite. So from him is where I learned a lot of the ins and outs of the business, and knowing that you just got to take a chance. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to show up somewhere and they're going to say, we don't need you.
No, the best part is showing up to a show. They say, yo, Guy, we don't need you tonight. Thanks for coming. I can go back, roll a doobie, sit, and watch an awesome wrestling show.
It's
a great time. So it's a win-win for me. I get to wrestle, or I get to sit and watch wrestling, 2 of my favorite things. So boom.
But yes, I've taken quite a few Bob seminars when he's come through TIW, and as a result, as you may know, I got my biggest win in my career so far by beating Bob Evans in a singles match.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, and I stalk your page. I follow your page quite closely. I try to keep engaged with the men and women out there and be able to know who's who and such and such. When you got that big win over Bob Evans, I'm telling you guys, do you want to see one happy person? That was Danny Adams. This guy was ecstatic. He was in that moment. He was pushing his stuff on his social media. He was giving us a little ride if we didn't get to see it, or if it didn't matter. He was still part of that moment. Take us, the fans, through that moment when you come up against a guy like Bob Evans. That are you a little bit more nervous than than other matches, and because it's a little more high profile for your career? Take us through this moment of the Bob Evans match.
There's always that bit of nerves that you're going to have right before you step through that curtain, no matter who's on the other side. But knowing that I was going to be stepping in the ring with someone like Bob Evans, I mean, you're talking 20 plus years. This man's wrestled in more companies than I have fingers and toes. And, going through, getting prepared was a lot of watching what he does, knowing what he does in matches. He's not a bad guy. He's not going to go out there and stop my face in or hit me with low blows. He is a wrestler. He is going to go out there and he is going to work me to my bone. And not only that, but he's twice my size. He's a large man. I'm not small, but so there's a lot of being prepared. So when he stepped in that ring and I stood across from him, I was a little nervous, and he definitely got the better of me for a little while, but catching him off guard for 1 second was all I had to do. Well, catching him off guard for 3 seconds was all I had to do, and it was incredible. I mean, just the feel of hearing that 3 count was I can't explain it. It's electric.
It was almost when you're in a high profile match like that in your career, and you do get that win. Is it almost the same feeling as almost like winning a title? It's just so surreal, and it's like, holy shit! It's got to be almost like a title kind of feeling.
It's almost.
Not that it's the same,
I would think it's almost better. Winning a title is great, but saying that you can have a win over someone that's been in the business for 20 plus years is just absolutely incredible. It's like I said, it's hard to compare it to anything else.
Guy Sadlowski, you say you kind of your win-loss record probably best. You're trying to bring yourself up a little bit better and get more W's, if you will. Now, you seem to be a fan favorite. I've seen you come in at Shut Up and Wrestle 4 or 5.
I think
they're both.
And it kind of twisted my mind because I know you're from TIW, and I didn't see you come down here before. You took the drive with Danny Adam. You came and shared your performance for us. Now, we cheer for you, but you found cheating ways here and there. Do you play the heel? Do you play where are you at in your character and in your career? Because I'm kind of confused, because if we cheer for you, but you're pulling tights and doing hijinks with War Peace and stealing victories, I don't know what to do.
No. See, the prospects back in the day, we pulled all that garbage, stole victories, all of that. Danny has straightened his shit out in TIW. He's by the book. He's a rough dude to get in the ring with, don't get me wrong, but he's not pulling my hair, choking me out, doing all that crazy stuff, all right? So in TIW, actually, we've been doing pretty well, like that hometown feel, the home crowd. That's what I think it has to do with. I won the Deck the Halls Battle Royal this past year. Then I went on to face Jimmy Limits for the TIW Championship, had probably the most fantastic match of my life. I almost won, Don. I almost got the title, and I didn't.
Jose, please, just for a moment.
Yeah.
Now, you say Limits. I remember Jimmy Limits from WA, and we used to call him Jimmy Loser. It was some of the most amazing times we would ever have in the entire universe. It was amazing. Take that home with you. Utilize that in TIW. Spread that love, because he fucking hates it. But now, Jimmy Limits, I laugh. you say one of my best matches, and that's not the first time I've ever heard about Jimmy Limits in that way. Give me some information on Jimmy Limits as a wrestler, because I am to hear, I know he's a champion, 2-time champion, he'll tell you himself. Give me some to be in the ring with Jimmy Limits.
Jimmy, we both have just recently gotten to be in the ring with him. He was in a triple threat match for the TIW championship at the last show that we had. Just before that was my title match. And Jimmy is, a lot of people compare me to Jimmy because of our demeanor up until recently, how he's an ass and mean to the fans. He was so cool with the Echo Boomers. Him and Fox, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, where were we, Don? I'm smoking on.
All right.
You talk.
So, I recently had to step in the ring with Jimmy Limits, and he's been giving my buddy Guy Sadlowski a hard time as of late, and I'm not shy about that. I don't like people picking on my buddy. And so when I stepped in the ring with him, it was just about, I want to put him on his ass. Plain and simple. Whether I won the title or not, I want to put him on his ass. And I'll tell you what, though, no games, no gimmicks, man. He went out there. He was a tough guy, and he put me through the ringer. And he's a hell of a wrestler. That's all I can say about that. He's a real professional when he has to be, but he will pull them tights and he will be a jerk. Absolutely.
That's the only way I've ever known Jimmy Limits. Never on the good side, always on the dark side.
Sometime you got to look up him and Fox Vineyard with the Echo Boomers, because they used to be a real fan favorite up until Jimmy Limits went out on his own.
See, I only knew Jimmy Limits from TIW back, because we only started in July of 2017 was when we first started training. So, I mean, I had gone to shows before that and seen Jimmy Limits wrestle, and at TIW he was always, cool and nice, and everybody liked him, and then he joined the Fun Boys, and that was a whole big mess. And
Mark Adam Haggerty will do that to people sometimes.
Yeah. That was a whole nother big shot in the face too. Mark Adam Haggerty turning on the fans. Some crazy stuff happens at TIW.
I don't know what it does to people.
Now, I'm gonna get to Mr. Haggerty, because he was a major part of the company for a little bit. But I want to get back to that Jimmy Limits and the PWA thing. Now, I'm here to help you. I'm your friends, right? We're friends.
Absolutely.
All right. When all of this COVID bullshit blows, bullshit blows over, and we get back to some kind of normality, wrestling comes back, we're all going to be excited and wanting to have some fun times. You guys, if you do me just a huge favor, let's get this Jimmy Limit loser thing going on in TIW, because it used to go like this. It was a very small place in Cheshire. There was about 30 seats, and it was very cool and very unique environment. To the left, and very tight against the wall, was the faces, the baby faces. On the right were the heels, and they would bark at each other and have some fun. But you would draw random numbers, and that was, again, two of the coolest, unique things I've ever seen in wrestling. But the fans hated Jimmy Loser, and this is what we should do. Jimmy Loser, Jimmy Loser.
We'll see if we can get it going.
Amazing. We love to do it. Jimmy absolutely hated it. We would do it louder. He would hate it more. So from me to you, you to me, if we could get that into TIW, I would love to hear some of that action. That would be amazing.
Don, that's beautiful. And as a fellow cheer entrepreneur, I created a cheer while me and my homie, my homie Danny was wrestling in that triple threat match with my other homie Corbin Dane and Jimmy. So I started a Just Not Jimmy, Just Not Jimmy, and that was pretty fantastic.
We're on the same wavelength, but I think But you're on a higher you're on a higher wavelength. Oh, man. Holy shit, man. You guys are a lot of fun. You have fun with the crowd. But like I like to get, because sometimes you don't always play heel, you don't always play face, the good guy, the bad guy. Danny Adam, you're one of those guys. You come out to shut up and wrestle, and we boo the piss out of you. We like doing that for some reason. Don't know why, don't know how I happened. But at other places, test of strength, you're with my man. All hail El Jabroni, and please get better. I hope. Have you heard from him, please? Have you heard from him?
I haven't heard from him ever since. What happened was a travesty. I'm sorry that I couldn't be in the ring sooner. You had Ryan Frost on the outside. It was keeping me down, and I wasn't able to get in to help him beforehand. And I haven't talked to him since. He went out the curtain, he went out the back door, and that was it. And I tried talking to Test the Strength to see what was going on. And last I knew, they were putting me in a 4-way tag with Dirtbag Dan as my tag team partner. So obviously El Jabroni's still not back yet. I'm going to try my best to stay in contact with him. But he's a tough guy, Don. You know that. He'll bounce back.
Cold Cash, Drake Evans, they ripped his face off. What do you mean he's going to be okay? No, he's going to be okay?
Yes, he is. Come on. El Jabroni. He doesn't stay down.
Yeah, I mean, he is a tough kid, but he's faceless right now.
He'd be disappointed to hear you saying that. He's going to come
back. Danny Adam, could you ever imagine getting your face ripped off and being okay?
No, that would be awful. That sounds like a terrible time.
Well, here we are talking about El Jabroni fucking faceless. I mean, let's get where it is. I mean, that's reality. But anywho.
One time I did shrooms and it felt like no, never mind.
Never mind. Hang on. Move on. Anyway, where were we?
Next question.
Where were we? PAPW, Test of Strength, Kevin, Sean Russell. We were talking about that. Yeah.
I knew this was going to be a fucking ride. Good guy, some places. Bad guy, some places. Now, I want to talk about when you come out to Test Your Strength with El Jabroni, there are two specific fans. One sign kid. And man, they are tons of fun. And the dad makes a bunch of cool signs. And one of them, they're all pretty cool. But one really specifically melted my heart, the El Jabroni Danny Adam thing. When you come out, and it's such a small, intimate crowd, but you're seeing fans make signs for you, dude.
It's so walking. I mean, you know how it is a Test of Strength, real intimate, real small. So you see everything. It's not like a big place where you might miss something. I mean, you don't miss a thing when you're there. And I think it was either you or Fogman. So don't crucify me for not knowing. It was either you or Fogman got a great picture of the two of us stopping and looking at the signs. You see my reaction. That was pure, just my natural reaction of wow. I can't believe two people who I'm in some place that I've never. What have I been in Test of Strength for a little while now? But I would have never expected people to not just make signs for me, but to like me that much. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool, man. It's pretty freaking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's what I think about on this. It's the whole thing. That whole, not stirring the pot, but it's the whole dance of wrestling. That it's us, it's you guys, it's everybody, it's the referee, we all take that. We all have to get invested in what you're doing, and we take that ride with you, and it shows with the fans. I mean, coming out and making cool signs like that. It's some of the coolest shit I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
I have to ask you a very, very specific question. I know you're on the Devil's Lettuce. Are you drinking pee, sir?
Oh, I'm drinking green drink, man.
That's green drink.
This is. Let's try to get this close to the camera there. Up there. Right there.
There you go.
It's green drink. It's a cannabiotic beverage infused with.
It looks like pee. It looks like pee.
Well, it's diluted, man. I'm smoking too. I can't be drinking the green stuff and smoking it at the same time.
If he does that, he gets that's when he starts throwing up everywhere. We can't have that.
All right. Hey, I think, man, I feel like it's coming through the phone, man. I'm like, my eyes are burning a little bit.
Don't doubt it.
Man, holy crap.
Sitting next to him.
Now, you have some good times in Test of Strength. And now, when you leave your home base of TIW, and you go somewhere to branch out and try to further your career, that's got to be really nerve-wracking, because now you're not in the same place that you've trained in. You're not in front of the same fan base. Now you have to build yourself somewhere else. Can you tell us how difficult that is? Because I'm sure it can't be easy.
Well, first to me.
Either one of you is fine. Hey, can I ask you a question though? Since guys is smoking, I mean, can I smoke a cigarette? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I don't.
Yeah, you can smoke at his house, man.
No,
We're
no,
good.
I don't allow smoking in my house, but you're in your house, so go ahead and smoke. That's fine.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I don't care. Everybody do their thing. So anyway, going someplace new it's a little nerve wracking. It's more exciting to me. I am so excited. Like when we were both just doing Just Truly Independent Wrestling, because he travels a little bit too. So doing Just Truly Independent Wrestling it's fun, but it's great to get away and go someplace new, especially these companies that go to different places too, wrestling in new places all the time, not always the same place, and getting in there and meeting someone new and saying, all right, I get to wrestle someone I've never wrestled before, and it's exciting if you ask me. And then you get to go home to TIW and wrestle guys that I love getting in there with, and it's to me it's very exciting, and getting out there, and that's when you have to really push yourself and really do the things that you're excited to do when you get in the ring. When you say to yourself, I really want to do this, do that when you're coming out for this new company, because you want them to remember you. You want them to leave and say, that Danny M guy, I never saw him before, but I want to see him again because I liked him coming out with the mask and the bright green, and I want to see him come out there again. I want to see Guy Sadlowski coming out there throwing peace signs and drinking his drink when he comes out. And that's, you just, like I said, I find it more exciting than nerve-wracking than anything. I'm always excited to go somewhere new.
Hey, that's like a fan, your fandom coming out and being excited for wrestling. I think that's what happens there,
Absolutely.
Guy, kind of same instance. I mean, how you feeling when you branch out? Because when I seen you at Shut Up and Wrestle, I go, holy shit, this guy's and you're like, you're damn right, Don. Hey, what's going on? I was like, holy shit.
So as I said before, I just freaking love wrestling. And like the first company me and Danny ever went out to, I think it was the first one you went out to too, but New York Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
Me and Danny had the first match of the company ever. And we went out there and had a freaking good match.
Yeah, like, I mean, you want to talk about putting us on the spot. I mean, if you're going to be the very first match for a company on their very first show, I mean, that's the pressure's on. You've got to set the pace, and I think we did I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think we did a pretty good job of really firing that crowd
up. Two
up.
Homies going out there just trying to win a match. So
that's right.
Like, he's using his big moves and all that good stuff, and I'm just,
And he's out wrestling me every turn.
I'm out chaining, out everything, and then, I got mad at you first. That time I broke his fingers, Don. I just straight up, boom, snapped
break them. They sprained them a little. But they're okay.
All right, so there is a bad side of Guy sometimes. I just need a little more of this, and then I'm back to good old Guy, and we're all good.
But yes, like I said, I always find it very exciting. Like you said, it really brings out the fan side of you when you get to walk in somewhere new and just start from scratch. It's great.
Yeah, we got to wrestle in the Clinton
Clinton Arena. Yeah,
and Andre the Giant had wrestled there before, and that was me just marking out, knowing that, he wrestled here 20, 30 years ago, and now I am.
Now, you guys have said that you've had some good bang out matches in TIW. Now you go to a new company. You're trying to present yourself A, as good wrestlers, safe wrestlers. B, good brawlers out when need be and all of that good stuff. And the ring if have to and all of that good shit. But C, you want to represent your company as you move away, because they know they're going to be like, hey, where did those guys come from? And if they don't like what they're seeing, they're going to be like, hey, man, but if they do like what they're seeing, that brings up your brand, that brings up the promotion's brand, all at the same time. So now you two go in and you are the very first match. Now, I want to say something right here, because a lot of people think that the opener match is just like the little warmer match. It's supposed to get us a little in tuned to it. This is my take on the first match and the last match. The same thing. I say 2 main events. We always get it at the opener, no matter who it is. If it's a younger guy and a younger girl, or 2 younger guys, or what have you, or if it's those veterans that really put on show after show after show, I say both. The bookends are very important. So to have that opener, like you're saying, you've got to set some kind of, okay. Now, this is their first show, and you guys as friends come in. How do you put together the match? I'm curious when it comes to stuff like that.
Well, I agree with you. Absolutely. The first match is probably one of the most important matches on the card. I mean, you're setting the pace for the whole show. 2 guys go out there and schmuck it up and don't care about what they're doing. You've already lost your fans, but 2 guys go out there and they blow the roof off the place. Now you've got the fans saying, "Oh, I want to see what's going to happen next."
But at the same time, they can't throw 800 Canadian destroyers and expect somebody to have to follow that.
Exactly.
I like an opening match that's not a crazy fast pace, but continually, it shows what the whole show is going to do. So this one match is going to slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to that peak, and then hit that finish. Boom.
Absolutely. So when me and Guy sat down and we must have put it together for a couple of days. I'd say about a week or 2. We were just thinking over, like, what do we want to not only express ourselves and present ourselves in a great way, but we want people to come back to this company. This guy reached out to us and says, "I want you on my very first show, my very first match." So obviously we're going to do everything we can to show New York Championship Wrestling why they should come back. So, I mean, there's no really way to describe it. It was just, let's go out there and give them a hell of a time. Let's go make that crowd just sit off the edge of their seat. You know what I mean? And to follow up with what you said before, because I wanted to touch on it, when you said, when you go out there, you're not just representing yourself, but you're representing the company you come from and things like that. I can't put enough of a point on my trainers, Lance Madewell and CJ Scott Fellows, for teaching me that. Show up to a company as professional as possible. You show up like you're showing up for a job interview. You shake everyone's hands. Please, thank you. What can I do to help? Show up early to set up. Stay late to tear everything down. Don't be that guy who shows up an hour before the show starts. All right, what am I doing? No, you show up and you ask to help out anytime you can, and you be a professional. And that's, I can't thank my trainers enough for not just teaching me, how to wrestle and everything to do, but how to handle the professional side of the business and how to put a ring together. You wouldn't be surprised how much that knowledge comes in handy. But yeah, I can't put it out there enough how much that's important to do, is to really present yourself like that.
It's part of the good ethics that makes the circle of the locker room happen, because that's just a good part of it. Again, Bob Evans, solid, he uses that often. Guy, you've been smoking that thing like it's a cigarette. Can you see me right now, Guy? Are you okay?
Well, he's a little blurred. I can still see him.
Yeah. No, this is your average Guy Sunday afternoon. You're just chilling with Guy on Sunday.
Okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, you've been hitting that pretty good. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Where does Guy Sadlowski, the character, go from here? Does he stay not caring, little 420 action? I'm going to coast through, or do you have it a little bit in the future where you can evolve this character? How are you going to be sitting with your character in the near future?
So, Guy, in NYCW, for instance, I'm going through a phase where everybody has turned their back on me since the beginning of the company.
Listen, I haven't been back in NYCW in a little while, but go ahead, continue.
So then another guy jumped me from behind, and every time I turn around, every time I get a title opportunity, this or that, somebody jumps me, and it's making me pretty...
Every time you get a title opportunity, let me tell you, Don, I had a shot at their Empire State Heritage Championship against Scotty Arrow, and I was feeling real confident because Scotty's a stuck-up douchebag. And guess who? New York Championship Wrestling makes a special guest referee, Guy Sadlowski, who, as I'm about to defeat Scotty for the 1-2-3, is tying his shoe in the corner and getting a drink from someone over at the desk. Jerk. And then I get pushed over by him, and Scotty steals the pin.
It was the fastest 3 count I've ever done, Don. I
hope NYCW's watching.
It was amazing.
Give me a shot back at my title. Anyway, though.
So I've been screwed over so many times in NYCW. I'm getting really paranoid, and I don't know what's going on there. So that's once wrestling comes back, there's going to be a new aspect of guy there. But everywhere else, I'm just the cool, happy guy. At the next TIW show, whenever that happens, I get a shot at Samuel Bolt, that big giant son of a bitch, and his Berkshire Championship. So I'm going to try my best there. I've been watching some tape and really enjoying the fact that I don't have to wrestle him yet because he's big and scary, and I really am scared to fight that big son peach. But, yeah, guys just chill. I mean, I outside the ring, I'm chill. I don't care. But when it comes to wrestling, I really want to freaking win. So, like, I try my ass off there. And one day I'm going to start winning. One day, Don.
One day.
I personally look forward to that day because I would like to see Mr. 420 on some but to Danny Adam, you talked about great colors and the way you present your character. About bright colors, this green. I mean, I gotta do this shit because it's very flashy, and you're like, I'm here. You gotta look at me because this is my character. Is that what you were going for? Because you're very eye-catching with your attire.
Absolutely. Sometimes when you go places for the first time, and I'll bring up Excite again, I can also bring up Test of Strength as well. First time there, I did the Young Man's Rumble. What's the first thing you're going to notice in a ring full of guys? The bright green guy that's standing there in the middle.
Not the kid with the same black and red.
Black and red that everyone else is wearing. But you're going to notice, I can't say anything. I wear black and red too. That's El Jabroni's fault. He wears black and red too, so we got a match, you know. Just like you and me, we wear black and green together. But anyway, so yes, that's what I want to do. I don't care if I only get to be in the ring for 5 minutes. I want someone to remember me, and I'm going to do everything I can to make at least someone in that crowd, someone in that locker room, remember who Danny Adam is, and that's still the goal from here on out. So,
wearing a gas mask in summer when you come out is got to be fucking horrible, no?
No, it's great. You kidding me? I can breathe through this thing. It's awesome. It's like ventilation. It feels good. Cold leather. Oh, it's awesome. The coat's a little rough. I'll admit the coat gets a little tough when I do outside shows. I don't wear it sometimes, but.
The jacket. Why would you add the jacket? Do you think it adds a little bit of flair, or because you would have like the singlet top and the bright pants and the rest of your stuff? But why the jacket?
It's a battle jacket. I'm going into battle, man. Every match is a battle, and I got to be prepared. So you know you don't know what you're going to expect when you walk out there. Some people get jumped off the bat. I got to be ready.
Thanks. Very logical. Now, I'm going to backtrack because I'm a little fucked up. You know, I'm not that bright. But I want to backtrack. You guys were talking about a last man standing match between two hombres. Take us, the fans, a ride, because if I don't ask you
about... We got time for that? All right, we got time for that.
Bring that to me, yes.
So let's go all the way back to the very first New York Championship, because this is where it all started. It started at the very first New York Championship Wrestling show, that match that we talked about. We were the first match. There was never a decisive win in that match. At the end of the match, towards the end of the match,
I was about to win.
Guy Sadlowski here hit me with a big backdrop. We were both down. We were both pretty beat up, and the Savage Wolves, CJ Scott and Damon Ravage, came out and put the boots to us, no contest. And I was pretty mad. I was pretty mad about that. And we had a tag team match against them, and someone dropped the ball, and we lost that one. So I'm getting more, and I'm mad at this point. You know, all I want to do is show up, and I want to win. And my partner keeps dropping the ball.
My foot got grabbed.
So I decided that at the very next show, it was in December, it was Seasons Beatings, it was the first December show there, that I was going to make a change, and I was going to do something a little different. So he costs Tyler Vincent the match against Lance Madewell in the Grand Prix. With Lance Madewell. You're jumping too far ahead, buddy. Slow down. So Lance Madewell and Tyler Vincent were tag teaming together to take on the Savage Wolves. So I decided I'm going to get Tyler Vincent out of the way because I'm just not happy with Lance. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And Guy decides he's going to jump in the ring because this goes back to TIW. You know, Lance, I still had my problems with him. And Guy decides that when the Savage Wolves want to beat up Lance, he's going to get in the ring and stop him. So I had to put the two of them down like a couple of dogs, and that's where me and him stopped getting along so well. And I found some friends in Corbin Dane and Zayden Lynn and Lucy Bolt and Bobby Bates.
You created the family of freaks.
And Guy had no friends.
I had no friends.
So
I was stuck by myself. So we go to Grand Prix. That's where I was.
No, you guys beat me up. I'll give you credit there. Him and Lance beat me and Corbin Dane up in a tag team match. I'll give him credit there.
Tag team match. It was a win. It led to Grand Prix.
Don Lance threw Corbin Dane off the top rope to the outside, like on top of people. It was pretty mean. I gotta say, it was pretty mean.
And
but
I made you tap out.
It's just,
I made you tap out.
Anyway,
Grand Prix.
Now we're in March, by the way.
We're in March. We're in a match together in a tournament to decide who's going to be the first ever New York Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. So I'm the 4 seed. He's the 5 seed. He's still pissed about that.
Of course I'm mad.
But
how wouldn't I be?
So it's me against Danny Adam with Corbin Dane, Lucy Bolt, Zayden Lynn, all on the outside of the ring.
Well, yeah, I got to bring my friends, right? They wanted to support me. Of course they came.
It was
they had to
a
support
4-on-1 match, Don. 4-on-1. So I get lucky because this dingus puts me in a submission and basically pins himself with it. And
it was the ref. The ref should have known better. And that's why when the ref counted, instead of catching his tap out, I dropped the ref on his face. And that's what he deserved.
So then Bobby Bates comes out acting all like, hey, I'm here to save the world. Guy, I got your back, brother. Don't worry. Oh, by the way, I'm a freak too. And he headbutts me. And then this sumbitch hits me with a concerto, busting me open. I was blood everywhere. It was nuts, man. Nuts. First of, well, actually, probably like 20th of many concussions I've had. But then, so I'm... That leads to what?
Well, at this point, he's hurt. And I made my point. You know, Danny Adams now and the Family of Freaks are now, people know us because I'm just not going to take any shit. And I think it's the first time I've cursed on this talk, by the way. Let's see. Where did we go from there? That is a good question. That was March. April, that's unfortunately April was New York Championship Wrestling they had some problems with the commission. The show couldn't happen. May. That brought up May was the Rumble match, and Mr. Guy Sadlowski and his two buddies. Mr. Guy Sadlowski and his two buddies, Price Right and the Great Nuka, you know Nuka, decided that they were going to try and show my buddies in the Family of Freaks that they were going to throw them all out of the Rumble. Well, that's great because when I came out, my friends, Bobby Bates, and our new friend in the family, Conan Lycan, decided to get in, beat the crap out of Price Right, him, and Nuka, and we tossed them all out. And I took over the Rumble at that point until stupid Dante Dio came in and threw me out.
Conan Lycan's a big dude.
He's a big guy, and he helped us out pretty good.
yeah, he was there with the family for like 3-4 months, and it was crazy.
So he
cost me the freaking Heritage title. The first ever Heritage title, it's a freaking gauntlet match. I'm in the last 3 guys, it's a triple threat.
This.
I know, right?
This was they had to do this at TIW because this was when the show had to unfortunately get canceled.
I'm about to win the first ever Heritage Championship for NYCW. I got a double cattle mutilation on both my opponents in one submission. It was nuts, Don. Nuts. All right? So anyway, Conan Lycan comes out, stomps me in the gut, big power bomb. I'm dead for the rest of the match. Dead.
You don't mess with the Family of Freaks. Anyway, because we don't want to use up all the time, we'll try and put all the story together. So come the next time we're at NYCW, Conan Lycan had jumped Dante Dio for throwing me out of the Rumble. I can't say he was doing it because I said so. Hey, they work on their own. We had a big old lumberjack match, our guys and his guys.
Yep.
And let's just say we the match never
It was a mess.
Shit show.
It was a mess.
Total
we were just
shit
being
show.
the hell out of each other.
And unfortunately, we all got suspended. Me and all my family got suspended for beating up the ref again.
I've been suspended since.
I don't like those red shirt refs, Don. I don't like it. So when we come back, it is called The Gangs of New York. It's a big flyer. Mine and Guy Sadlowski's faces are right on smack dab in the center. And I get my friends, me, Conan, Zayden, and Corbin, and he's got Nuka, or no, he was going to get Nuka, but Nuka couldn't make it. So he got Dante and Price, right? And who's this guy get? Fox Vineyard. Firework Fox Vineyard comes to help him. Ring of Honor's Fox Vineyard comes to help him.
So we have this big, huge war. We came out to Gangsta's Paradise because I'm that cool there, Don. Like, when I come out there, those NYCW fans freaking love me, dude. It's crazy.
And they hate me. They hear my music, and the second the music starts, I'm not even out there, and they're already hating me, and that's fine. I'm fine with it. Anyway, so it turns out that at the start of the show, I made sure to make a point that if we win this match, we get a shot, that each member of the family can get a shot at whatever title they want. And guess what, Don? We won. We won the match. And I got a shot at the Empire State Heritage Championship against Scotty Arrow. We told you that story with Mr. Douchebag Ref over here. Corbin and Zayden had the tag titles against Killer Instinct. You know your boys, Mike Skyros and Kevin Cartwright. And unfortunately, they didn't come out on top either. And at this point, at the end of that, at the end of that match, when he counted that pin on me so fast, I jumped on him and started beating it. We had refs out there. Everybody's out there trying to tear us apart. And that's when their GM, Cassandra Powers, says, here we are. That was in September. So this was leading into the year anniversary of New York Championship Wrestling. 1 year since our very first match against each other in that company. Now we're having a last man standing match to kind of put it all to rest. And guess what? We were the first match on the show again. So 1 year later, we started the show, and now we're starting the show.
To follow that.
That's right. We had to follow a year of me and Guy Sadlowski, and it was...
yeah, the crowd was apeshit for that thing, and we went ham. I pulled a bowling ball out from under the ring, rolled it at his nuts. That was the highlight.
I know I threw a couple of frying pans at him and garbage cans. I brought out some bottle caps and laid them around the ring, and unfortunately, he slammed me on them
or something.
It was
everything's blurry now.
It was pretty wild. I basically almost broke his leg with a chair. I mean, it was a half hour.
It's on his YouTube page.
It's on my YouTube page. It was a half hour of just absolute madness, but it ended with me.
I threw up toward the beginning. That's a whole nother issue with me. That's all fixed. I don't throw up during matches anymore. Everything's all better.
But towards the end, at the end, I just got the better of him, and I ended up socking the ref there too because he was being a jerk and wasn't counting. I hit this guy, and the ref stops and looks while he's laying on the ground. I'm like, ref, count. He's on the ground. Count. Don't just sit there and stare, ref.
The ref gets to like 6, 7, and he almost gets up but falls back down, and he's like, okay, I got to start over. No, he wasn't up. But
yes, so when it ended, I got the better of him. I powerbombed him on a couple of chairs, and he did not get back up.
It was a whole pilot.
And ever since then, I've left him alone.
We don't have issues anymore.
The family, my friends stayed out of that match. We didn't do anything there, and I got respect for him for getting his ass kicked so much and still coming back. So we're all right. We're all right from there. So so it's a wild ride. Sorry
well, then 2 months after that, I had a freaking Singapore cane match with Damon Ravage. Lost that. The video.
Yeah, he got hit with like 10. He got hit in the back 10 times with the kendo stick. It was pretty.
Well, it was back, some leg. Last one was to the head.
Anyway, sorry to listeners who had to sit through that, but that was a ride we had to bring you through to tell that whole story. This was a year long, probably one of my favorite things. So.
Don't ever apologize for taking us, the fans, on a storyline journey, because that's what we love, my friend. That's why I wanted you to tell that story.
Me too. I can get in the ring and do as much flashy and cool things as I want, but I'm gonna get in there from the moment I step to that curtain, and I want to tell a story, and that's what I'm doing.
I can't wait for both of you to watch this back and tell this specific story, because you guys are such close friends. And I think watching both of you going back and forth talking about this match, you're going to see, and I know you already know this though, the passion that both of you guys have for this industry. I cannot wait for you guys to actually watch this back, because I watch all of them back, and I'm looking very forward to this part of it specifically, because you guys were enjoying yourself taking us on that ride when we weren't even there. So I appreciate that, man, really.
Please feel free to, anytime you can, go on to YouTube, search Danny Adam. I got a page. You can find some of the matches from that. I don't have all of them from our journey. I can start to get some if I can, but definitely check some out. The Last Man Standing match is on there. Our match from the Grand Prix is on there. So there's a few on there that you guys can watch. I'll see what I can do about digging up the rest of them, unfortunately.
Well, I would be down to watching some of that material. I have, you guys are 3 of, holy shit. You guys are 3 of 5 interviews today.
You're insane, Don.
You're a busy man, Don. You're a busy man.
Dude, it's been crazy lately. And why
take some time to eat and then go to the bathroom. You've been washing your hands. Make sure that you're washing your hands. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you know me, but I don't eat for shit. Look at this. I mean, come on.
We got to get some meat on Don Kincaid's bones because we eventually got to do Don Kincaid versus the Fog Man. It's got to be who's the better interviewer. We got to have it happen. Center ring match.
Whoa. just whoa. You two together coming on was an absolute surprise because hearing you guys go back and forth with the love you have for each other, your upcoming as students, you've gone through the whole stuff together, it seems, in a very cool way. And man, having you both on at the same time was really, really fun for me because we all got to share some really cool shit that would have never ever known about. Guy said he's the guy. Don't ever call him a guy. He's
the guy.
Yeah, and Danny Adam, you guys have opened up. You've shared some really, that last story, and it sticks out. I'll never forget that. But you told some cool stories.
Show. I'm gonna put all at least a couple of matches I have. I'm gonna put them in the comments that way people can watch.
Yeah,
them. So they'll be
that would be awesome, man. Thank you for your time during this whole COVID mess.
I love
the Corona. We won't.
I'm gonna say that to my wife, Mary Jane, today. I'm gonna be like, King COVID. I mean, no, never mind.
And we're not gonna forget Jimmy Loser. Don't worry, we're not gonna forget it.
No, that would be amazing. But before I let you guys go, how do we, the fans, get in touch on the face page and the Twitter and stuff? How do we find you guys on that stuff? Give it.
Now I'm exclusively on Facebook because I'm not out there yet doing my thing on the internet. That's all foreign to me, man. The internet stuff. Right. I'm like an old man at heart.
And with me, I mean, you can find me on Facebook under Danny Adam. On Instagram, I'm under as the Toxic Terror, and on YouTube, I'm under as Danny Adam. I don't have anything else right now. I'm slowly working on that. That's something I'm using with all this time that I have right now. Is I'm trying to not rebrand myself, but just get myself out there more and make some little changes here and there that can help me and things like that. I have a guy working on my very first show back. Everyone's going to get my brand new music with my new video that I'm getting made. Not going to spoil anything on it yet, but you'll see it soon. Should be getting done pretty soon. And, so Facebook Danny Adam, YouTube Danny Adam, and Instagram Toxic Terror is where I make sure to post all the photos, things like that. So
little things make an evolution of a character. It doesn't always have to be a big thing. So
absolutely.
We enjoy what you're doing. I hope you enjoy when we boo and we cheer and we do all of that stuff because we love it all. We love you guys. Thank you for spending the time. And if you're looking at my end of the camera, War, Danny Adam is to my right, and Peace is one guy, Sadlowski, the guy. They make War and Peace. They have fun together in singles matches. It doesn't matter. They always have a blast. Thank you guys for spending the time. This was Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special
guys. Stirring the pot over here.
Yeah, this guy. My guests, one Danny Adam, one Guy Sadlowski. Thank you again for spending the time, my friends.
Thank you, Don. Thank you for everything you do.